Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922 here. Yes, I'm shaven. Before I get into this video of Sword Art Online Episode 2, I told you guys in my Episode 1 review, this show is the shit, and it is. But before I get into the episode review, yeah, today I went to take its test for this job. Didn't turn out very well, but yeah, moving right along. Okay, Sword Art Online Episode 2, Beater. This one was very good. Very good. Very good indeed. Indeed. It was like, by far, 5 out of 5. Sorry, 5 out of 5. This was a stellar episode. It was like, holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. Beginning of the episode, we see Kirito. I'm really bad with names, and I apologize. I remember seeing people mispronouncing the names, and I really apologize for that. But anyway, Kirito basically is there, and he's saying how a month has passed, and over 2,000 people died, and now everybody is basically meeting up to take a stand against the boss. And basically there's this huge meeting with these other players and so on and so forth. And I actually wrote down their names. What ends on happening is this guy named Diabel. I can't say, these names are so hard to say. Oh my god, they're so hard. Diabel. Let's see, Diablo. Diabel. Well, Diabel is a knight, and he's basically orchestrating this meeting of these teams to team up in like 6 groups. And he's explaining, you know, we need to make a stand, you know, so on and so forth. And he's explaining that he knows the location of the boss. The boss room. And if they defeat the boss, they can go to level 2. Floor 2. So this is like you know, endless thing, you know, kind of situation. And that's basically saying, so everyone groups up into teams except for Kirito. Gonna have a hard time saying that name. Alright, Kirito. Until he meets this girl sitting right next to him with a hood over her head. She's like hiding herself. You know, it's like, you know, so on and so forth. And basically, everyone's split up into groups, and like he's saying, oh, okay, everyone's in groups, and now we'll talk about. And he says, oh, not so fast. This guy shows up out of blue. Kibao. These names are so hard to say. They're ridiculous. Kibao, and he's you know, he's protesting and stuff, and he's saying like, you know, it's unfair that all these beginners got killed because the you know, beta testers, they took everything. He's basically complaining because of the beta testers, that they took everything and so on and so forth, and it's bullshit. Excuse me. And he's protesting to this fact. Man, that cough. He's protesting to this fact. And he's pissed off and so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden, this big black guy, bald head with an axe. His name is Igel. He later on sells a lot of stuff to people. And he basically tells Kibao, Igel tells him, you know, everyone of the beginners was able to get the manual, which was free in your items list, and it told you everything about the world of Sword Art Online. And he's like, like he's pissed off about it and everything. And then the floor goes back to Diabel, and he's telling them, he's a knight, so you know, he's telling them. Basically, that he knows the identity of the boss on the first floor. And he explains the name of the boss is, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher this name. You're going to have to deal with this. I don't know if it's Three Fang, the Kobold Lord. And he has these ruined Kobold sentinels at his side. And supposedly he's got an axe, and he has these two attacks. He's got an axe with a buckler. And the other one is this ridiculous sword that comes out that curves. And he's explaining to him about how they're going to coordinate, the attack patterns of how to beat this guy. And seemingly it seems like the best way to tackle it is to have people distract the sentinels while some other team, coordinate attacks. That's what he's basically saying. And pretty much that's what happened there. And then he says, oh, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., be here. We're going to go and attack the boss. That's pretty much what he's saying. He was just explaining a little bit of the boss and how to defeat him. And I also didn't mention this. The girl who teamed up with Kirito, she teamed up with him. And later on, we find out who this girl is. Now, after that whole scenario, we see Diabel. He's looking at Kirito. So, he pretty much knows something about him. That's for later on. So, we go into this scene with everyone's drinking, having a good time. It's late at night in the town. And we have this interesting scene between this mystery person with Kirito that teamed up. And he gives her this item. Now, one person that I know on YouTube was asking me, oh, they can't eat. Actually, they can. He gives her, she's eating this bread thing. And he's eating bread too. He says, it's delicious, isn't it? And she says, no, it's not. And he takes out this jar. And he says, use it. When you touch it, a sphere goes around your finger, and you put it on the bread, it's cream. Cream on the bread. And she bites it, and she eats all of it. So you can eat in the world. It's just a different, unusual way of doing it. And basically, he's talking about, this, and he tells her, oh, you can use this anytime you want, so on and so forth. And that's pretty much what happens there. Now, moving right along, we get the next day where they're ready to go and attack the boss. Now, this boss is no joke. He's like Prophet of Doom. He's like huge. This guy. He's like fucking just... So they're walking through the forest and they're going to go into the room where the boss is. They open the door and then Diabel starts doing attack patterns. Squad A, B, C, and he's doing certain attack patterns to attack the Sentinels, because they show up too, the Sentinels and the boss known as Fang, the Kobold Lord. And then what ends on happening after that is everyone's doing their attack patterns and so on and so forth. Then he calls Kirito's group with this mystery person. Now, the mystery person's name is Asuna. Okay. So basically, they're doing their attack patterns, and they're blocking the Sentinels and everything, and they're getting some leeway, and they're winning this fight, kind of, until Diabel they wound the boss very significantly, but until Diabel takes out his sword and is about to charge him, the boss, Kobold Lord. And what happens is Kirito's like, no, don't do it, because he notices that the sword he's using, the axe that the boss is using isn't the same one. So he tells him no, and he gets hit, Diabel. And they all attack. He then attacks the Lord, and he goes to Diabel and saying that, oh, you were a better beta tester as well. And he's like, why did you do that? He's just saying that, I couldn't be like you because you can lead them and I can't lead them. I forgot specifically what he said, why he did it. He already knew and he was going to warn them, but I think it was a matter of him doing, the reason he did that was so, So what ends up happening is Kirito and Asuna, they take charge of the situation and they start fighting, and a lot of crazy action. Oh my god, I was stunned with the animation. It was like, the action was spectacular. Just spectacular. Especially towards the end. At one point, Kirito, he gets an upper hand against the boss, but the boss attacks him and hits him. And Igel shows up and says, oh, take some time to heal while we deal with him. And everyone attacks the boss while he heals, and he's up to full strength. And he ends up fighting the boss again with Asuna, and they're doing attack patterns, and it's just like, holy shit. This is one scene where they're both side to side, and they're going straight at the boss, and he's just going with his sword, and it's like, holy shit. The animation was insane. They outdone themselves. The animation group, the animation company did this show. It's just like, holy shit. This show might have the best animation of the summer lineup. I can't argue. It's just amazing. So eventually, what ends up happening is they defeat the boss, and everyone's celebrating. Yeah, everyone's celebrating for Kirito, and of course, Kai Bao, I can't even say this guy's name. He's kind of a dick anyway. Says, why did he have to die? Diabel. Why did he have to die? Why did he have to die? Why did he have to die? And so on and so forth. And he's referring to the fact that Kirito is supposedly a beta tester. And he's wondering why he had to die. Diabel. Yeah. Why he had to die and everything and so on and so forth. And he's remembering, Kirito, what he told him. And he puts that plan in action. And he starts laughing, and then he just goes over to these guys and says, you guys are much better. Did a much better fight than the other beta testers. But I'm nothing like them. He's like saying, I'm in a total league on their own. I'm a beater. He's just, and everyone's like pointing fingers at him, saying you're a cheater, and so on and so forth. And he won a specific item. Person who gets like the bonus gets an item. And the item he gets is this midnight black coat that he wears now. It's pretty fucking awesome. And he doesn't, after he says what he needs to say, he walks away. He just walks away. And I'm like, wow. And then he goes up the steps. And right before he goes through the door, Asuna tells him to wait. And she says, oh, what are you going to do? So on and so forth. And I think she was laughing, like, because she didn't even realize that that's what his name was, Kirito, and her name was Asuna. This later on is going to have more meaning. It is. And He just walks away. And before he leaves, he disbands the group that he had with her. So he's basically like the lone wolf. Solo. He's going solo. He's not, and he basically, before he leaves even, also he tells her, oh, make sure you go to a guild, because you're very powerful with your sword techniques. You're very good. And you should go to a guild, and so on and so forth. So, that's pretty much what happened. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. This show is kick-ass. Kick-ass. I can't praise this any more than I've been praising, but this episode should lock people up. Lock them up. Lock everything up. Go watch it. There's no question. After watching episode 2, I am telling you right now, this show is the shit. It is. There's no question. There's like no question whatsoever in my mind. This show might be better than XL World. It probably is. Now, I'm not going to go as far as some other YouTubers saying it's better than .hack. That's stretching it. But it is very good. The action is awesome. The animation is awesome. And I'm loving this story. Loving this story. So, that's all I got for you guys for today. But I will part with one thing to say. And that's, you're going to see a lot more of Kirito and Asuna. I'm telling you right now, you're going to see a lot more of them. That's all I got for you guys. Yeah. So, I guess, let's think about this. Couple more reviews tonight, probably. Probably going to do a few others. Maybe One Piece, It's a World, you know. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Go watch Sword Art Online. There's nothing more I can say. This show is spectacular. Truly, truly spectacular. It's been Bonkai22. Go watch this show. It's worth it. See you guys.